All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Everything NYJ. It's the preview show for Seahawks and Jets tomorrow on New Year's Day. We got one of my good friends, Gus, and my co-host Liam. Liam, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Getting ready for the new year. Just nervous about getting a win for tomorrow. Nervous and excited at the same time. I don't really know how to feel. It's kind of been a long time since we've been in this situation. So
That is true.
it's good to have meaningful games in January, though.
It is.
That
You
is
know,
true. That is true. That is true. Gus, how you
change the
doing, my
pace.
friend?
Yeah, man. How you doing,
UK,
Kino?
the UK. He's from the
Woo!
UK.
Go UK. I'm the same as Liam. Um, it's a twofold problem, isn't it? It's nice to be playing meaningful football in December, but as Sir Alex Ferguson used to call it, Man United fans will know that it's squeaky bum time.
I know what that means.
You
I
know what I
love
mean.
that. I love that. I love that. Guys, I mean, facing against Geno Smith tomorrow, and we're facing against Pete Carroll, former Jets. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, we're all fighting for playoff spots. The other teams did their part, and now we got to do our part. Because if we don't win tomorrow, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Anyways, Liam, how do you feel about going in tomorrow?
Not really worried about the 12th man advantage. We've been playing hostile environments all year. Buffalo, Minnesota, just to name a few. Green Bay, Steelers. It's not really what I'm worried about. It's just can't come out flat. I think that's
Absolutely.
really the main thing. Can't come out flat. You got to be excited. And I know, like, it sounds obvious, but even the Jacksonville game that was supposed to be a must-win, and they came out flat. Obviously, different quarterback that should change things a little bit, but just go out there and play like you're playing for something. I think that's really the biggest thing.
Hmm, I like it. Gus, what do you think?
I'm on the same. I'm definitely on the same route as you there, Liam. I think the difference is, and I'm probably going to get fried for saying this, but I think the big difference is we're not playing in New York, and I think the Jacksonville game. I think if that had been in Jacksonville, I think that might have been a different story. I think playing in MetLife in front of that rabid fan base that is at the moment quite divided with everything that's been going on. I think that had a lot to do with it. I think people are tired of this constant bickering, and I think that
Yeah.
translated. I picked that up on the game. I think people there was an element there that were there to party and get behind the team, and there was an element there that just was pissed off, and we heard that in booing, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't care how badly a player plays, you don't boo someone that's got our uniform on. With regards to the game, whew, I've got mixed feelings about this. If we play, and I'm with you, we need to come out firing, Liam. As you said, if we come out firing, we have to establish that run game, and we have to keep the pass rush off um, White because he's still got those banged up ribs, and they haven't healed up in that time. I don't care who you are, he'll still be feeling a little bit stiff. If that pass rush gets to him and he has to start throwing the ball, it's going to get dicey. But the rush defense of the Seahawks isn't good, and I don't think their O line is much better than ours. So I think our D against their O line, I think that's in our favour, and I think rushing is also in our favour. So if we can control those two things, I think the game's good. But 12th man and all that, need to shut them up.
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
before I just wanted. I was at the Jacksonville game, and it was loud. We wanted to be loud. There was fans taking their shirts off. Like it was raining. It was cold. There was only diehards out there. Like there was no like really casual fans. All diehard Jets fans want to sit in the pouring weather, just to watch this team, and they looked like a JV team. They couldn't do anything. So
Yeah,
like I mean I understood the booing, but they were looking for any reason, myself included, just to get loud. They were just giving us none. So
yeah,
I don't know in Jacksonville excuse me, if in Jacksonville if it would have been much better, but I don't know, man. Like I think the weather definitely did play a factor, but at the end of the day, it's like they laid a dud on primetime television, the only primetime game of the year. So
yeah.
that's like I agree with the booing. Like I don't like to boo my team, but it is frustrating when you're there and in person you spend all
Oh, for
day
sure.
traveling there. You're sitting out in the pouring rain, the elements. Jake Asman was saying that he might get pneumonia. Like, it is what it is. So I don't know if Jacksonville would have been completely different, but we
It
could
would
have
have
had a
been
better
warmer.
showing. But yeah, probably would have been sunny. So I don't know if it would have made a difference or not. It's just thank God we're on the road for the next 2 games. I think we are a better road team.
Yeah, I think so too.
I agree. I think we're a better road team. And even though it is hard to play in Seattle, and we haven't really been playing great in Seattle for a long time, I still think that we have a team that this is not going to be a low scoring game, in my personal opinion. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think Gino's going to be squiggly out there. I think he's going to throw some touchdowns. I think Mike White's going to throw some touchdowns. But it's all going to come out to what Mike White's offensive line can do for him. So if he gets crushes again, I'm worried he's going to get injured again. I'm not worried about the weapons. I'm not worried about some of the injuries. I'm more worried about the offensive line. So going into this game with the offensive line, because we know what the Seahawks can do. They're on a losing streak right now, but they're that team that they can bounce back at any moment. Liam, how do you feel about the O-line going into this game with Mike White?
They're probably my biggest concern,
Mhm.
especially on the offense. I mean, I think that we're going to see a lot of the tight end blocking just to kind of give him that extra protection, and I think we're really just going to try to establish the run game.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting to see any James Robinson, but if
Yeah.
Bam Knight can find a way to get north and south, I think that's going to change things a lot. I think they're going to do everything they can to protect him. I have no faith in the offensive line. I'm not necessarily going to say like a George Fant revenge game. Like, no, it's not going to be like that. I don't
Yeah.
think they really care too much.
Yeah.
Um, I mean that's the way I would attack it. Because if the pass is there, just find the way to get the ball out of your hands quick for Mike White.
Mhm.
Hit open receivers, take the checkdowns. He's been doing pretty well. It's just I think especially in Buffalo, Mike LaFleur gave up on the running game way too soon,
Yeah.
which you gotta just stay true to your game plan. And like I said, use the tight ends as blocking. I think that could be a way to kind of deflect a defensive line, but their defensive line's not that great anyway, so I'm not necessarily concerned about it too much. But obviously the injury concern is there, but I think his ribs are fine. He said he felt fine. It was just like the internal stuff.
Mhm.
He's been practicing. It's not like he's been on the sideline. So that's like the way I'm going to take it. It's like I guess we'll see what happens out there. He's got to pray that everyone's going to stay safe and healthy.
There you
Yeah.
go. What about you, Gus?
Oh, absolutely. You're stealing my. I'll say you're stealing my thunder.
I'm sorry.
I just agree. I mean, I think there's really just one way to look at this, and you've just nailed it. So I'll just shut up now. Next. No, I'm joking. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, as it stands now, in rushing, I think the Jets are now ranked 31st. The rush defense of the Seahawks is 30th. But I think our rush attack is way underrated than it has been. And you're right, we keep giving up. And for that reason, we keep giving up on the run game way too often. Why? I do not know. That's a whole new podcast on Mike LaFleur and why he gives up on stuff that works and goes to stuff that doesn't work. But that's a whole new podcast. But I would like to see us stay with the run. And if it doesn't work at first, just stay with it a little bit longer and just go with it. And as you say, I'd like to see more tight ends blocking. We haven't got a fullback anymore, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen there. I've had this thing in my head, and I was looking at old videos, and it was Sheldon Richardson. Oh, call me crazy if you like. I just want to see this, because it's Christmas and we're going into a new year. But how would you like to see goal line situation, Quinnen with the ball in his hands? Does that sound mad?
I'd love it.
Interesting. It would definitely spice things up.
We've done it before. I know that's just like a crazy thing to say, but it's just like a little bit of fun. But getting back onto it, what you were saying is like Mike White's game is, and he said it on with Tony Romo on Jets Drive about one of the good parts of his game is he does do his reads quickly, his progressions, goes through, bang, gets that ball out nice and quick, which is going to be a problem for any pass rush, even with our squeaky O-line. And I think in this game, that will be an absolute huge plus, is to play that fast passing game. I see, for me, I think a key player in this game tomorrow night. Well, night for me. It's going to be Elijah Moore in the slot. Go to Elijah Moore often and early. Bam, 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 and get those tight end crosses coming in. Release, block, release, bam. 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. Let's just go 4 yards every single down. Bam. Third down, we can do 4 downs. We can do 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Let's not get into the situation where it's 3rd and long. And that comes back down to discipline as well. Let's stop doing these stupid penalties, false starts, holding. So that's my key to the game. I'm not too worried offensively with Gino at the moment. He has laid some duds out of the 6. I think it's the 6 games they've won 1 out of the last 6. But so have we. So, but we've got a Source and we've got a DJ Reed who used to be a Seattle player. So if we're talking revenge game, DJ Reed.
That would be it.
Yeah. A lot of disrespect I've heard with the interview with DJ. So, and Carol kind of shrugged it off a little bit.
One thing I wanted to say also real quick too is like you said, Gus, like they love the 3rd and longs for some reason. You know, we can't be in 3rd and 19 like you said. And what pisses me off even more is like when it's like 3rd and 19, they do that stupid check down play to like Ty Johnson for like 2 yards.
Yeah.
Bothers.
Yeah.
Like it's just such like a waste.
Is that
down.
the empty backfield?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You can name one at least every game. There's at least one every game.
Yeah.
That's insane. That has driven me insane. Nearly.
Yeah.
I think we saw that about game 4 or game 5. We were going like long with his empty backfield, and there's Ty Johnson lined up as a wide receiver. What are you doing?
Yeah, even that too. It's like I mean I understand you want to be like cautious with the ball, but even like Zach, he had an arm. You could get the ball downfield. At least try. You know, like if it's like 3rd and long and like you even like throw like an interception, but you're giving the effort, I'd be like, all right, like whatever. I get why you're trying. You know, when it's 3rd and 19 and you're dumping roll for 2 yards, that just drives me nuts. It's a wasted down. That's exactly what it is. You know, so.
But it's
like
with
a
that
pet peeve of mine.
But you know, I mean, we've seen. Okay, this is when Breece Hall was here, but then again, Bam Knight's done exactly the same thing. Not as good, but he's done the same thing with these long runs on 3rd down. You need on these 3rd down and longs. I'm sorry, but you need to have a back in there for 2 reasons. A, to keep the defense honest. B, you've got a running back. We've got a running back with Zonovan Knight that can run a wheel route and pick up 15, 16, 17 yards easily.
Right.
What are you doing? Yep. Why are you putting Ty Johnson out wide? Stop it. Stop being silly. Get back to the basics of football. Keep the defense honest, because you're selling out for the pass, and they'll go into a dime, nickel, or quarter defense, and they're going to let us take 10 yards when we need 15. They're going to let us take 12 yards when we need 17. It's no good. It doesn't matter. So yeah, absolutely agree. Let's not see that anymore.
Well, as I keep looking at the latest injury report, we do have Eccles and Jeff Smith out, so that's going to give some opportunities to a few guys. And questionable right now is Herbig and Curry. They were limited participant, but Joyner had a full practice, but he's still questionable. So that's actually, I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's actually pretty huge for us to get back. But on the Seahawks, on the other hand, they have a bunch of people questionable. Only 2 people were full participant, and one of them is Tyler Lockett. I know he's questionable, but that could be a little bit of a game changer for them. But what's a game changer for them on the running back side is Walker was a limited participant. That's one of their big weapons. I mean, and Goodwin, their other wide receiver, is doubtful. But with these guys, are we worried about the injury report on us or them? Or is it kind of like it is what it is? Liam, what do you think?
Could you repeat our injuries one more time, please?
So, okay, we got Nate Herbig. He was he was a limited participant. And then Curry with an elbow injury, he was limited as well. He's also questionable. This was Friday. And then as of yesterday, Joyner was full participant, but he is questionable still. But
right.
Not worried about Joyner.
Pretty healthy for once.
Yeah, but Eccles and Smith are out for sure.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, yeah, like not to be like a jerk or anything, but like those are like none of like our premium players, you know. So I think
I could argue
We've done
Jeff
it
Smith's
worse.
been playing well though.
Yes,
A little
he
bit, yeah.
has. He
Yeah.
has. Maybe like the return of Denzel Mims will be big.
That I agree with that. I
I
agree with
think
that.
Corey Davis has to be more consistent if if he could be like the Corey Davis of old, not the
Yeah.
penalties, not the drops,
Yep.
then that's going to be huge. And like you mentioned Elijah Moore earlier, which I think would be big too. I want to see him more in that Barrios role. I'm a huge Barrios fan, but he's really disappointed me. You got to roll with the hot hand.
I agree.
Maybe have him do some like ending arounds. Maybe feature Elijah Moore with some trick plays. I think that could be like a little change of pace, which could be good for us. Curry, he hasn't really done anything for me on defense. Really could care less to see him go next year.
Mm-hmm.
Joyner being a full participant, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because I have been very critical of the safeties.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, I mean, we're looking good. We're fully healthy. There's no reason that we can't go out there, especially because they have banged up wide receivers. Tyler Lockett.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who you want to throw Sauce on. I'd probably throw Sauce on maybe Metcalf or
Metcalf. I think Metcalf, in my
Or
personal
maybe
opinion.
DJ against Metcalf because they do. I'm sure they used to go up
Ooh.
against each other in
Yeah.
practice.
Mm,
So
true.
who knows him better than DJ Reed most likely. Especially even like playing with the 49ers. They were going up against each other a ton of times, even though DJ Reed was a safety with the Niners. So I mean, I don't know. That could be an interesting matchup there. There's not a reason that we can't get it done. I think we're pretty healthy overall. All of our breakout players are really healthy. Garrett Wilson could hit 1K tomorrow. I think he's like 4 yards away. That's gonna
Is
be
he?
really exciting. Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God.
He's at like 996 or something like that.
Oh God. This is
So
a Frank
close.
Gore situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many attempts did it take Frank Gore? Was it 3 yards he wanted? There was something about 8 downs it took to get it, like at 2 inches ago.
Let me pull that, like, just to make sure with Garrett Wilson. I'm pretty sure it's close. Whatever. I'm pretty sure it's like 4. I looked it up because like nobody's been talking about that. And, like I noticed it recently. I'm like, oh, he's got to be close. And I looked it up recently, and he's like right there. Garrett Wilson. Let's see what his stats are.
Well, oh yeah, he's close. He only need
Yeah, 996.
loyal Jets fan.
Ali.
Ali broke it a few days ago.
Yeah.
And he's never said, "Throw me the damn ball."
Yeah, like Keyshawn. Yeah.
Oh,
I love that, man.
I saw him on was it? Oh God, what's it? WFAN or whatever it is, and he was going on about. He was like, he was humble. You don't often see Keyshawn being humble.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, never. You don't have to worry about that.
He gave Corbett over the years and everything. Garrett Wilson just broke one of Corbett's records too.
Yeah,
I think it was like
most receptions
by a rookie. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I think this kid's gonna be a superstar. I'm really excited for Garrett Wilson, man. He's everything. He's as advertised. We could have the offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year. How great is that, man? It's
oh my God.
exciting.
Oh my God. It put this team back on the map. I mean, we were a great team before.
It's a nice problem. Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's a nice problem to have, but we've got the right guy in charge of when it comes to cap, because these guys are going to get paid at some point.
That is also going to want to bring other players in here too. Like there's going to be like other wide receivers that want to play with Garrett Wilson. There's going to be other safeties and corners that want to play with Sauce. So that's something to keep an eye on too.
I think we're going to be next draft. I think it's either going to be tackle again, and it's going to be safety, linebacker, top of the list.
It has to be. Yep.
Getting back to Joyner, Salah's presser earlier on in the week. I think he was quite kind to Joyner and Whitehead, saying that he put this defense that we're running is putting a lot of pressure on the linebackers and the safeties. And I have to say, I agree with that. It's very obviously it's this zone defense, which is more coverage based for the linebackers, which puts more pressure on the safeties to come up in support. And as an ex-safety myself, I was way better at man coverage than I was zone, and zone used to freak me out.
I didn't really like zone
either. So much more to think about.
I played some safety. I played a lot of college. A lot of corner too. I'm playing college.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Gus, you play football in the UK, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
13 years.
Very nice. Very nice. Liam played high school ball as well. He played against Jimmy Ruckert.
I did.
I played against Sean Payton.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Hey, that's a hot take.
You know
Explain that. Explain that. You're not getting away with that. Explain that.
Right. He was in the UK. He was a head coach in the UK.
Oh, wow.
And he coached, I think they were called Leicester Panthers. This is going back some. And they had a guy playing for them there. And I think he was playing tight end, and his name was Martin Johnson. I don't know if that rings a bell with you. Probably not.
No, it doesn't.
Martin Johnson went on to win the Rugby World Cup with England, Rugby Union.
Oh, wow.
Against Australia, down under. So sorry about that, Aussie fans listening. But I think he was.
Me and Gino, we've had a lot of like personal like interactions with Sean Payton with different people like on the show, like Westhoff called. Sean Payton called in one night when we had Mike Westhoff on, and now you know Mike kind of part. So it's weird. It's like a lot of like, connections to Sean Payton. He's been definitely circulating. A lot of people want him for the Jets. Like I definitely wouldn't be opposed to it, but I like Saleh too. So I wouldn't.
Well, I've still got Sean's personal number, so I could always drop him a text.
Oh
yeah,
do it. Do it.
Rumor is that he's going to. I'm hearing rumors that he might be going to the Colts. He might be going to Denver. And the rumor is too. Pat McAfee said that he wants to hire Drew Brees as his quarterback coach.
That's genius. Genius.
That'd be
genius.
Genius. I would love to see Drew Brees on the Jets. Being maybe Wilson's quarterback or Mike White, whoever we're going to be wrong with next year. Garoppolo, who knows? But I wouldn't. If it's not going to be him, who else I want? Frank Reich too. Frank Reich's from New York. He lives, on Long Island. Make it happen, man. He could go back to his old roots and drive to the stadium every day. Drive to One Jets Drive.
I love that.
So I'm in for that.
Do you think Mike LaFleur's back next year?
Depends. Yes. Just because they're friends. Yeah. I mean, if they miss the playoffs, that's going to be quite, definitely like an indictment on the coaching staff. And I think there's going to be a scapegoat, which would probably be Mike LaFleur, if anything.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really fire Ulbrich. I mean, we wanted to. It could be Calabrese too. If it's going to be Calabrese, then I definitely want like I said, like Frank Reich or even like Drew Brees. I don't think Drew Brees is actually going to happen here, but I think Frank Reich is definitely a possibility. So I would take that. I want Josh McCown. I've been saying Josh McCown for years now too.
Yeah.
Just seeing what he did with Sam his rookie year, sign me up for that. But depends on who he's coaching too.
I would love to see that next year. I would love to see that next year. I would love to have someone in the same ilk as Josh McCown with Sam Darnold. So a backup QB or a starting QB. I don't think Zach should even be on the field next year. I think Zach should actually have an entire year of clipboard holding. The thing is, and I take this the right way, Zach Wilson, if you're listening, or Lisa Wilson, if you're listening, because I know that you've had a hard time of it. He's not mature enough. He's still a young man, and he's not mature enough. He's too nice at the moment. And I'm not buying into this rich kid thing at all. I know that when he's grown up with his father, he's never had anything given to him. He could have, but he's worked pretty hard throughout his life, and he's taken his lumps. And he has got that privileged background to fall back on should things happen. But as far as I'm aware, he's worked pretty hard. And I think that if he did have that year off behind, someone last year's, what's his name? I can't remember his name now. It's just got out of my flipping head.
Josh Johnson, Flacco, White.
New Orleans quarterback. What we just talked about.
Oh, Breeze.
Beg your pardon. Yes, just gone out of my head. Cheers. But if we had last year's Drew Brees and we had Zach Wilson holding a clipboard, I've been saying I'm going to fast forward. For the last 2 or 3 months, since we've had the problems with Zach, I've been thinking who, along the same lines as what you've said, who would you get in to tutor him, mentor him? And I still think that there is a way around this. I think Aaron Rodgers is the absolute ideal fit. This team can win with Aaron Rodgers and our defense. Would we be able to take Aaron Rodgers on, especially with all the cap? I think because teams do this. I think the Packers are ready to move on and rebuild without Rodgers, and I think the Packers would also swallow some of that cap. If they did, would that make it doable?
Well,
Okay, well here I just got one quick thing with that, and then I'll let you have it, Liam. Here's the thing: Saleh and LaFleur are friends. You know, they've been friends a very long time. I mean, they've been in each other's weddings. I mean, don't you think that maybe LaFleur and Saleh, like, he's a pain in the ass? Don't do it. It's like you never know. It could be that kind of thing, or it's Zach Wilson's idol. That could be a good thing too. So it could go pro, it could go con. Like it doesn't. It's just a sticky situation, and I don't know if I want that. Liam, what do you think?
well, there's a lot I want to take out of what Gus said. First off, I think one way also to fix Zach, this is personally what I would do. I would have him up in the booth with LaFleur. This way he
Oh,
could see the entire field, he could see defenses, and Mike LaFleur could explain to him during plays, like, listen, like this is why like that linebacker's dropping back, or that's why the safety is coming forward. Just really get him to understand and really teach this kid how to read defenses.
Yeah,
That's what I would do. I mean, like sitting on the sideline, like, yeah, you can see everything, but like, I don't know, it's like playing Madden. You want to be like up above, you could see everything. That's the way I would fix him. Are they going to do that? Probably not. I don't even know if players are allowed up in there, to be honest. Like, I don't know if there's a rule that maybe he's not. I don't know.
I don't think he
But
is. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that would be good for him. Sit right next. Bring John Beck up there. Bring Calabrese. Bring his mom. I don't care who he brings. Brings his friend's mom. Bring anybody up there. Just sit him down and be like,
oh,
look,
you don't want to
have a
bring
couple.
anyone's mum.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Yeah. Don't bring
That's a
anybody's
rabbit
mom.
hole.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you,
that's true.
do you know what it is?
But
I mean, you've touched on something there, and again, this is something that me personally, I think, and I know why Mike LaFleur coaches better from the booth than he does on the sideline.
Michael
Agreed.
LaBooth.
Yeah, exactly. But does that do the quarterback any favors? How many times when you see there's been a problem on the field, the quarterback goes over to the OC and there they are with a telestrator on the Microsoft thingy on the laptop, and they're going over plays and they're looking at each other. It's not just about what comes through on your ear, it's what you're seeing with your eyes, it's what you're reading from that guy's face that's telling you what you're doing wrong. I personally, I've thought this for such a long time. As soon as he went upstairs to the booth, I'm thinking, I don't think that's a good idea. I get why you're going up there, but it's doing yourself favors, but it's not doing your rookie quarterback any favors. You need to be on the field. Even literally putting an arm around him at some point. I don't agree that was the best route to go down. And if that's the only way that LaFleur can get his job done, and if LaFleur isn't getting his job done, and Salah's ass is getting hot on his seat, there's only so much friendship that it will go that far. So whether or not Salah has a word with LaFleur, or LaFleur takes the hint that it might be time to move on with a sideways step rather than being let go by the Jets, I don't think LaFleur. It comes to, for me personally, this next 2 games is going to be it for LaBooth.
Yeah.
If he doesn't deliver these two, if he doesn't deliver these 2 games, I think he's gone.
What do you think,
ideally,
Liam?
isn't that what a good quarterback coach is there for? I mean, like, you could still hear him,
Yeah.
you could still talk to him. So like that's where they failed bringing in a rookie head coach, a rookie offensive coordinator, and a rookie quarterback coach and a rookie quarterback. There should have been an adult in the room. There should have been that experienced voice, and I think that would have been Greg Knapp, ideally. God rest his soul. But
Yeah.
once he passed, you want to bring Mike LaFleur in as the offensive coordinator, go ahead. But then bring in like some quality control coach, a veteran. Bring in, somebody that I don't. A lot of people are saying there's a couple of different names going around. I'm not gonna sit here and name a bunch of players. Some of them are skipping my head. But you just bring in like that experienced guy and be like, whoa, 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 hold on, listen. Like maybe it's just like the way LaFleur's teaching Zach Wilson's not getting through. Maybe it's what Calabrese is teaching isn't going through. Something. Bring in that experience. Bring in that Josh McCown. Bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick. I would take him too.
Yeah.
Somebody, Drew Brees, somebody like that, just to be like, listen, kid. Because Joe Flacco's not that guy. Joe Flacco
No, he's
does
not.
not want to coach Zach Wilson,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
selfish.
Oh, yeah.
It's selfish. He had his time. He was a starter. He won a Super Bowl. Give back to the game. That's what it's all about. We saw it. We see it all the time. Peyton Manning did it. Brett Favre did it for Aaron Rodgers, even though there's some friction. But you're supposed to give back to the next guy. He's not doing that. Get rid of him. I think he's terrible. I don't want to see Joe Flacco on it. Gino knows how I feel. I
Yeah.
bash Joe Flacco every week. I am not a fan of him. I don't care about a Super Bowl. That's just the way I am. I don't like him. But that being said, bring in that veteran and just be like, listen, you're doing X, Y, and Z wrong. Try A, B, and C, or try B and C and A. Is something. Just somebody who has a little bit more experience. Kyler Brees wasn't even in the league last year. He broke all of Boomer's records in high school because he grew up right down the road from me. It's just that's what I would have done. I would have brought in that veteran guy to be like, listen, just do this instead of that. That's what a good quarterback coach is for. It's not all on the offensive coordinator because you got to think the offensive coordinator doesn't just control the quarterback. He's got to worry about the 10 other guys out there. He's got to worry about the offensive line, the tight ends, the receivers, the running backs. He's got to worry about all those guys. You can't just favor one guy because he's not getting it, but the rest of your team is ready to fly. That's just the way I look at it. Now, you said Aaron Rodgers, bringing him in next year. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers, he kind of has that attitude with me where it almost seems like he doesn't care anymore. He's like, oh, yeah, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. Like, he was frustrated because he wants to win. But I don't know how much his passion is left in him. He knows he's at the end of his career. It might be like, hey, listen, I just want to go out there and have fun. I would rather bring in somebody like a Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not a fan of Derek Carr. Everyone's telling me that Derek Carr doesn't suck. But when you have to tell me why somebody doesn't suck, they probably suck. I get it. Like he's had a terrible line, he's had a terrible defense. I don't care. Not everybody's gifted in the NFL like that. You're not gonna have a great defense, offense, special teams. I don't know. This is not a huge Derek Carr fan. I never have. Garoppolo, I think it's a perfect fit. The San Francisco connection with Salah. He knows our offense already. Gino doesn't agree. I don't care. You put Jimmy
No
Garoppolo
shit.
in. You put Jimmy Garoppolo in. Keep him healthy. He's ready to roll. The guy has an excellent arm. He could make money throws. He has the experience. And if he does happen to get injured and you have to put somebody like a Mike White or a Zach Wilson in, he's still going to be on the sideline, giving that extra coaching experience. That's just personally what I would do, because it's a plug and play. You don't have to teach him the playbook. You insert him in, and he's ready to go. It's like he's already been on the team. He has the connection with LaFleur, with Salah. He knows the playbook. Why not?
Do you know what though? I see
like
Mike White. Mike White. Well, Mike White's just David Carr 3 seasons behind. I think Mike White is going to be fast forward to how.
Yeah, let's hope he's the answer, and we don't have to worry about this.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope. All right, guys. All right, guys. Closing thoughts though for tomorrow's game because it's a big one. It's a do or die situation for the Jets. Gus, we'll start with you. What's your score prediction and closing thoughts on the game tomorrow?
I'll give you 2. Heart and head. I've done this before. My head says 1917 Seahawks.
Ooh.
But my heart says 2024 Jets. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game.
Well, you don't? Okay.
No.
I kind of have a similar thing what you're saying. Liam, what do you think?
We could do the heart and head thing too. Like it's not that I don't think we're going to lose. I'm just scared because I haven't been in a situation.
Yeah.
So
can I swear?
Go ahead.
I am shitting it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I could agree with that. I'm up there too. I'm nervous, man. I gotta go to work tomorrow too. I'm have to watch the game on my phone too. I tried getting out of it today, and he's like, "No, we need somebody tomorrow night." I'm like,
get out of here! Oh, that's horrible. That is horrible.
And since I already asked work during the day if I call it, he's like, "I know you're just staying home to watch football." I'm like, "Yeah, so what?"
Of course.
Well, I told him I was like, "Listen, I've watched bad football my whole life. I want to watch the Jets try to get into the playoffs here. It's big.
Right.
But anyway,
that's facts.
Not to get
So
give me your boss's number.
What am I thinking? I'm thinking, you know what? I'm gonna go 23-20, 2023, New York Jets.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna come down to Greg the Leg.
Yeah, I think so too. Woo!
Ooh. Okay. I think this is going to be a little bit of a high-scoring game. My mind says the Seahawks are going to win. My head says that, but my heart says the Jets are going to win because they have a bunch of injuries right now. I know it's hard to play in Seattle overall, and we haven't been doing very well in Seattle. But also, we got to remember, guys. We also got to remember it's the Jets. They are the only team that I can remember that can lose their way. Like they should win, but it comes down to the very end, right? So I think Mike White's going to throw a touchdown in the red zone to CJ Uzama, and it's going to be we're going to win 27-20. Or my mind is saying Seahawks are going to win 27-20. In the red zone, Geno Smith's going to throw it to DK Metcalf.
Oh no.
I know. Hey, it could go like that because it's going to go down to the wire, though, like you guys been saying. 5 to 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. It's just, I just feel it. But, guys, thank you for joining us. What's up? Sorry, go on. Go on.
To get to 2023, what if Mike White has his 3 touchdown passes? You know, it puts us at 21, and then we get like a strip sack, you know, back for a pick 6 or something. Get those 2 points from safety, sack, you know, get a sack.
Sauce.
Hey, like Porter in the Super Bowl and the Saints.
That's defensive player rookie of the year. That will seal it. This woolen sauce thingy all over.
Yeah, just get a sack, get a safety.
That'd be dope, though. That'd be dope.
All right, man.
But guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Gus. Gus, where can they find you? What can they find you?
I'm on Twitter at GusToon, and I have a podcast on iTunes and Spotify, GusToon's Jets Podcast, and there's another guy there that was also on it, and I wouldn't mind getting the other guy up there on it as well. And that's basically it. And can I just wish everyone a happy new year, and let's hope it's a better one in 2023. Love you guys. Love the Jets.
Amen, brother. Amen, brother. Well, happy new year to everybody going in tomorrow. Jets for Seahawks. You can follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube on everything NYJ. You can also follow this guy, Liam, on the right at everything on Liam with everything NYJ on Twitter, and you can follow him on Facebook if you want to, Snapchat or Instagram, and you can follow Italy Jet on these social media platforms as well. Awesome. Guys, thank you so much. Happy New Year. Love you guys. Let's go Jets.
Happy New Year. All right.
Go Jets.
Go Jets.